A year ago, I started a YouTube channel and I posted consistently every single week, and my channel barely grew. Was it worth it? I don't know, debatable. I'd like to think so, but here's what actually happened. So, back in 2024, at the beginning of the year, I was feeling very upset about the state of the world. So climate change, wars in Ukraine and Palestine, division amongst people, wealth inequality, and many other things. I found myself feeling a lot more pessimistic every single day, so I decided to start this show called This Made My Week. Deep down, I knew that there's a lot of good that's happening around the world and there are so many good people doing good things. So I decided to shift my focus and give my attention to that goodness. So I started sharing inspiring stories, uplifting information, good people doing good things, heart-centered businesses, and just bring some positivity in my own life and maybe someone else's as well. This year has definitely been rich, expansive, creative, but it did not go as well nor as easy as I expected. From the very beginning, I poured my heart and soul into this channel, into this project. I took it very seriously. I barely skipped any episodes. I scheduled my time, I showed up, I did my best at searching the information, then prepping, like doing my, the extensive research about stories, guests. I wrote every single video, I filmed, I edited, I uploaded, came up with titles, descriptions, thumbnails. I promoted this channel only to get 60, maybe 80 views per episode. There were episodes where I focused on my creativity. I wanted to be playful. I wanted to be or think outside of the box. And then during some other episodes, I followed advice from other YouTubers. I thought about hooks and storytelling and about other techniques. But neither of those approaches gave me better results. I spoke very openly and I tried to engage my community. I asked questions and I wanted to hear from them and their good stories. But all I heard was crickets. The reason why it was so difficult for me to experience the silence was this. So get closer because I'm getting personal. So I grew up with loving parents, but I was incredibly neglected. So my parents were barely around, and when they were at home, there was a lot of chaos, a lot of noise, a lot of addictive behavior, an actual addiction. There was workaholism. My parents are dreamers themselves, so they always encouraged me to go for my dreams, do the things that I wanted to do, so they never really suppressed me. But when it came to actually help me through the process, or especially when it came to attending my emotional needs, I was completely alone. So what it did, it installed this core belief in me, in my psyche, that it's not that I believe this to this day, but it keeps coming up again and again, is that nobody cares about me or what I do. I could be the best. I could achieve anything. I could know all the answers. I could be the president of the world, the queen of the world, and nobody would still care. So I am aware of this belief. I don't believe it consciously anymore, but this is what I've been experiencing this whole year, and nobody cares. And I experienced it again and again. But you know what? It's funny, because I received a lot of encouragement and love from my parents, I never doubted my abilities. I always had the confidence, not just with this channel, but in general in life. I always had the confidence. I never doubted that I could do something. Imposter syndrome is not something that I experience, but it's just this core belief that even when I am the best, nobody gives a shit. The last year has definitely been therapeutic for me because I kept showing up no matter what. But regardless, I still felt very upset and hurt and just lonely yet again. with everything that I'm doing, and this thought kept coming to me again and again. Why are you doing this? Why are you wasting your time? Nobody cares anyways. But you know what? I do. I care. I'm doing this because I like the challenge. I love discovering fun stories, and then I get excited about sharing them. I love crafting my episodes and connecting the dots between random things so there's some kind of storytelling and cohesiveness. I like filming, I like getting ready for these episodes. I kind of like editing, and I absolutely love watch the process and then finally hit the publish button. I'm really sad to see that everything that I'm doing here is not connecting to people. And you know what? I'm not ashamed to say this, that I would love to get more views. Because you know why? Because I know that we all have this innate human need to be seen, to be recognized, to be understood. So I'm not trying to hide away from my human nature. The opposite, I am embracing it. I am human, and it doesn't make me into a pick-me girl. It doesn't make me weak or vulnerable. I'm not pretending to be cool, because I know that this is the need that I have and everybody else does too. What I learned is that consistency matters and that art takes a lot of time. And yes, this channel took a lot of my time, energy, effort, and things may seem simple, but they're not easy. That is why I have so much respect right now for other YouTubers or any creatives who do something on a consistent basis. It is incredible how strong of a pull I felt to distract myself from the discomfort that I was feeling when I was frustrated, stressed, upset about my statistics and all the numbers and all of that nonsense. And all I wanted to do was consume instead of create. I told myself that I could spend this time with my son instead, with my husband, with my family, loved ones, that I could go out and hang out with my girlfriends more, that I could take up a hobby, that I could stop spending my money on lights and camera batteries, subscriptions and apps, that I could be working more and earning more money. But something in me wants to create this content that is not sensationalized, that is not clickbaity, that is not fear-mongering, that is not short nor fast. I want to commit to creating content that focuses and contributes to the goodness, to optimism, to kindness, to perseverance, to solution, to hope. It doesn't matter how big or small the action or the story is that I'm sharing here. If it has expansive energy, I want to talk about it and I want to share it with the rest of the world. When I connect to this authentic desire in me, the views, the statistics, the numbers, they become less relevant. I'd rather disconnect from the crowds than lose this connection to my inner inspiration and my integrity. So is this made my week what I want it to be? No, far from it. I look at my old episodes, some of them, and I cringe. They're awful. I regret following traditional suggestions and how to create stories, and I wish I'd been a little bit more creative in my endeavors. But you know what? I have to accept my limitations and where I am today. I have a very big vision for the future, but today it is what it is. I'm a working mom with very, very little time, with limited finances and other resources. So I do the best that I can that day, and that's enough. And that's totally okay with me. And even with all of those obstacles, frustrations, and inner turmoils, I had an incredible year. I got to learn so many cool things about the world, about people, about everyday people, coming up with such creative solutions, them showing up no matter what, them building communities and being good to one another. I literally created a library of good, inspiring stories and facts that prove that there are so many good people doing good things every single day. And what was really important for me to see is that those people very often, they're not online because they're busy doing the good work, like actually saving the planet or building communities, improving their environments, and yada yada. Like, I tried to look for them online because I want to follow them, I want to be inspired by them. They're not online. They're doing the work. I met and I was also so incredibly inspired by the people whom I got to interview for the show as well. They are not experts, they're not celebrities, they're not famous influencers or anything like that. These are just regular people who decided to create a life that is full of meaning, purpose, intention, and they do things like open up a store where everything is free, or they go and play video games at the children's hospital with sick kiddos. I intentionally chose everyday regular people because I also wanted to show the example that you don't have to be exceptional to do exceptional things. You are so powerful. You can choose what you do with your life, and you can choose goodness. I also met other content creators who focus on positive content, and this led us to create our own small community, small gathering, and we meet every single month and we share support, information with one another, and I feel less alone. I feel very inspired by them, and I feel like these meetings, they recharge my battery. I also became a lot more mindful about online space pollution. There's so much trash out there. There's fake news, misinformation, misguidance. There's a lot of noise, half-baked ideas, and just simple stupidity. I don't want to contribute to that, so I'm choosing to create something that not only has value, but has an intention behind it. I don't want to come here and just blab something that is the first thing in my mind because I was emotional in that moment and I did not know where to put my thoughts. No. I come here when I consciously decide that I want to come here. Overall, the show inspired me to put myself out there more, to embrace discomfort, ask questions, initiate conversations, do something that I've never done before, to think more creatively, and because of that, it created a lot of variety in my life and a lot more colors, if I could put it that way, and I absolutely love it. It of course carried me through tough moments, especially after 2024 November elections, and it invited me to think things through, to reflect and really consider what I'm saying instead of just coming and sharing my anger. I could go on and on. The benefits and what I've experienced this year are countless. So all in all, was it worth it? I'm gonna stick to my answer and I'll say, I don't know. Like really, I don't, because the thing is, if it wasn't this show, I would have created something else because I wanted a creative outlet. So I will never have a definite answer, but you know what? Here's something that I do know for sure. I believe in what I do here. I believe that highlighting goodness is important now more than ever because we are headed towards very tough times. And I do want to continue because I want to see what happens next. So with that being said, go ahead, make your own week. Make someone's week, bye, because you can. And I will see you next week.